Can you blame them?
Not at all. Not at all. All right, so let's get to some NBA. This was another kind of surprise over the weekend. Again, is it a huge deal in the grand scheme of things? I don't think so, but I don't want to totally discredit Sam Merrill. But the Sacramento Kings have signed Sam Merrill.
Wow!
Yes.
Let the Sam Merrill era begin.
I believe he's more of a two guard. He's about 6'4"-ish.
Yeah, he's a two guard.
Pretty good college player and has been in the NBA, been with the Bucks and been with the Memphis Grizzlies. So he's been in two good organizations. But this is getting very, very crowded for the Sacramento Kings. They have 20 players currently, and they got some roster juggling to do. Now, I don't know if right now, I guess I'll just ask you it this way, Jay. Do you think Mike Brown and this large new coaching staff that they have,
yeah, but
do you think today they know their top 8?
Yes.
You think so?
I do. Also, just real quick on the coaching staff thing, because that final coaching staff announcement went out on Friday, correct?
Yes.
They have, I think, 37 coaches on staff. It is insane.
I remember in Vegas in the Summer League and went, they have more people in the gray tops than that are playing.
Right. They have more coaches than players, like legitimately, I think. And I'm old enough to remember back when it was, you had a head coach, an assistant coach, and then like teams that were willing to shell out for a second assistant coach had 2.
Right.
But like, for instance, like when the Kings came to Sacramento, the coaching staff was Phil Johnson, Jerry Reynolds. That was the staff, Jason.
And it ended there.
Yes.
Yes. Well, let's look at this. So if you think they've got the 8, do you think we could?
I can name it right now.
Okay.
Here is
you want to do it by position? Is that easier? Or
I'll just do who I think are their 8 guys that are going to be in the rotation, locked in. De'Aaron Fox.
Okay, I'd agree.
Kevin Huerter.
Okay.
Harrison Barnes.
Okay.
Keegan Murray.
Okay.
Domantas Sabonis. Davion Mitchell. Malik Monk. Rashawn Holmes. Lock it in.
Okay, so I have questions. I don't disagree with any of that. So is the next part of the bubble, like I guess the one that could jump into 9 or Terrence Davis?
Possibly.
Here, I have the roster up.
Trey Lyles?
Trey Lyles can jump in there. I think if they go with the 9-man rotation, I'd have Trey Lyles just based upon position.
Well, and here's what the 8 you gave me, I think Sabonis and Holmes are basically only playing the center. I mean, you could maybe find a way. We haven't figured out if those two can play together. It didn't look like they could. You're a little light at the 3-4, but I still maintain Huerter can play some 3.
Well, I think you can. Here's a couple scenarios. I think they'll go with a 9-man rotation.
Okay.
And I think Lyles is the 9th guy because of position. So you can theoretically go to a lineup where Harrison is still at the 3. You bring Trey Lyles in to play the 4 to replace Keegan, right?
Okay.
Or you can even go small ball. You have Harrison move up to the 4. And like you said, you could have Huerter play the 3, Monk at the 2, Fox at the 1. Maybe Mitchell comes in to replace Fox, play at the 1, but it's still same mentality. And then, like you said, Holmes and Sabonis, they're playing the 5. They're swapping at the 5, whatever those minutes are.
So if you give the 9 at Fox, Huerter, Barnes, Murray, Sabonis, Mitchell, Monk, we're putting Lyles in there and Holmes. That's 9.
Then I'm looking
Dellavedova and Cook. One of them is going to be the 3rd guard. The other one's not on the team, correct?
Right.
So
correct.
I would say that's a competition. Those two are competing against one another, not against Mitchell and Fox.
No, absolutely not. Lock it in now. Your starters, De'Aaron Fox at the 1. Davion Mitchell is your backup.
Okay.
Unless Davion somehow has just this amazing camp and is your starting 2 somehow. But I just don't foresee that happening.
Okay, then other 2 at the 2, Terrence Davis and Sam Merrill.
I think Davis is definitely your 3rd guy there. Sam Merrill, and I'm looking, according to Spotrac, he has an Exhibit 10 deal, which is a training camp deal.
Okay.
So
he's likely not going to make it.
He's likely not. And remember, Davis has guaranteed money. He has $4 million guaranteed. It will be Davis over Merrill regardless.
Okay.
So pencil him as your 3rd 2 guard, probably.
I guess I could put in Keon Ellis as well, but we feel like
he's a two-way guy.
He's going to be Stockton.
He'll be in Stockton.
And we're going to put Keita there too, right?
Keita's in Stockton. Yeah, I don't count the 2-way players in this.
Okay, so Dellavedova, Cook, Terrence Davis, and Merrill. If we kind of go to that 3-4 position, KZ Okpala, Chime Moneki, and Chimezi Metu.
Yep.
Am I missing anybody?
No. No,
okay.
That's accurate.
Okay.
And then at the center, you just have Alex Lynn.
feel like I'm missing one player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 19. I am missing one player.
Give me your lineup again.
So I did your 9. Fox, Herter, Barnes, Murray, Sabonis, Mitchell, Monk, Lyles, Holmes.
Okay.
That's the 9 you said are in the rotation.
Yep.
Dellavedova and Cook.
Mm-hmm.
Terrence Davis, Merrill, Keon Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
Okpala, Monecki and Metu. Alex Len and Keita.
Did you put Merrill, right?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Who are we missing?
I don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah. I have one
I'm
less.
looking at the roster right now, and everyone you said is on there. There's another.
There is somebody we're missing, and I can't find who. If you're hearing this, you know on
This is the best radio of all time.
It is, but I don't know who we actually missed, unless did I not count correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I know they're at 20. Anyway, I think the last couple of spots, though, and you're going to have 15 with the two-way guys. So we think, 3? I think between Dellavedova and Cook, one's on the team, one's not.
Yeah, and I would say Monecki and Okpala. I think one of those guys is being left off.
And Merrill could be in a tough spot.
And then I think Merrill will probably not make the team.
Yeah.
I truly believe that's what you're looking at. And so we say all of this to say Sam Merrill is a guy that is going to be a training camp invitee that is probably waived. The point is, when you're looking at this team and you're looking at it from a competition standpoint, here are your competitions: third string point guard, and then 14th and 15th spots on the team.
Yeah.
I really believe that's what it is. That's where we're at. I think the rest of this team is set.
I think as far
barring
as
a trade coming up out of nowhere.
Yeah. And then I think in your top 9 that you have listed, I think the legit competition is for starting 2.
For sure. Between Monk and Herter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could buy that.
Yeah.
Because no one's taking Harrison Barnes' spot at the 3.
I wouldn't think so.
I highly doubt Trey Lyles will start over Keegan Murray at the 4. Rashawn's not starting over Sabonis. No. Mitchell's not starting over Fox.
Right. I think the only other thing I don't think this will happen, but I think it needs to be thrown out there. Any chance that Mitchell's starting at 2?
Again, there's a chance, but he is going to have to play out of his mind to start over both Herter and Monk. Out of his mind. What does that entail? It means he's going to have to fit right next to De'Aaron Fox. He's going to have to play great defense. He will. But his spot up shooting is going to have to be 40% from 3. Truly. If they're looking at him and his spot up shooting is that way and he can spot up and hit that from a 40% mark, sure, you can start to make the argument.
I know we get into this and we'll do it again this year, starter, non-starter, but if he starts the first 6 minutes and he's the first one out, or Fox gets the first breather and you bring in Monk or Herter, aren't you kind of starting? I mean, it's just the way the game begins, and if you're trying to get better defensive, I don't know. I'm not saying that's the way I would go.
I don't think they go that way.
Especially because it looks like the majority of his minutes are going to be at the backup point.
Right, and right now I think they should be. I'm not going to, as good as Davion played in the last 10 to 15 games last year, I'm not going to look at that. Who is it? Who's the player? Oh, geez. Kent Bazemore. Yeah, Kent Bazemore will be on the roster.
Yeah.
Kent Bazemore is probably your 3rd.
But where's his competition? Like, where's he competing there for?
He might be either competing for Terrence Davis's minutes as the 3rd shooting guard or as he
could get right in behind Barnes.
He could. He's small at small forward at 6'4". And we've talked about this for I don't know how long, how the team needs to have length at the wing positions. And that's not one thing Kent Bazemore does.
Yeah.
I'm not anticipating Kent Bazemore to be a regular rotation guy. I think Bazemore is there as a good locker room guy. I think that's what he was there for 2 years ago. Got minutes, obviously, just out of necessity. But I think he is more a veteran impact guy that if someone gets hurt, then we can probably see Bazemore get some minutes.
Yeah, and again, I know we're going to get caught up in this end of the 20-man roster, but the meat of it is, and I'm going to stick with the 2 for now, it's Fox and Sabonis. They have to be, I mean...
Nothing else matters if those 2 guys don't play well.
I mean, we could all go, look at Denver's depth. Look at the Warriors' depth. Look at Memphis's depth. It matters how Steph and Draymond play. It matters how Jamal Murray and Jokic play. I mean, all those other pieces are important.
Depth is irrelevant if your stars aren't playing well.
Right. Dame got hurt last year. Portland fell off a cliff.
Yes.
He's the most important piece to the puzzle.
Yes.
And they had other players, capable players.
Yeah. And for the Kings, De'Aaron started out really poorly last year.
Yeah.
They sucked.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Right.
It did not matter what anyone else is doing. Rashawn Holmes early in the season was playing really well. Did not matter. Harrison Barnes early in the season playing really well. Did not matter because De'Aaron wasn't going.
Yeah. Need him. Need Sabonis to be great. 20 players is where the roster stands at now. Camp will begin sooner than you know it. The schedule is coming out supposedly this week, and there's some schedule leaks. We'll get into some of those games